This has been a long time coming, but today Dave and I are finally heading up to Wollongong. We're checking out some display homes that we are considering for our new build house. And I'm very excited, and I'm taking you guys along and hopefully can take you along the entire process of our build. And if that is something you're keen to see, grab yourself a cuppa and I'll show you the place. So there was one home design in mind that we had been looking at online for quite some time, and we were really keen to check it out, which is the house that you are seeing now. However, upon actually inspecting it, it became quite obvious to us that the bedrooms were incredibly small. And even though it's only Dave and I at the moment, we are looking to start a family in the next couple of years. We do want to have a few kids, so having bedrooms that people can actually stay in is really high on our agenda. We also do want to have maybe 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and some other things on my wish list include a walk-in pantry, a really nice closet for our master bedroom, and a freestanding tub for the main bathroom, which are all features that this house had. And so we decided that we were going to talk with the people in the display home and see if we could switch up the design to make the house a little bit bigger and make a few changes that we wanted to make to the actual layout. So they were able to make those changes for us and got back to us within a week for a quote on the full build, including any extra costs and inclusions. And I was pretty shocked. So the quote that they came back with was about 50 grand above what sort of Dave was hoping or expecting, and about 100 grand above what I was hoping or expecting to pay. Now, we weren't locked in with these people. We did have a few other companies in mind. So after that quote came back, we decided that we were going to look further afield and see if we could get some quotes from other building companies. Dave and I bought our block down the coast about 4 years ago now, and it's a 630 square block, and it cost us $259,000. But because we were going to be building a new home, we were eligible for the first home owners grant, and I think that was around 13 grand, and it also meant that we got a stamp duty exemption. So with the grant and our own savings, we were able to put forward a 20% deposit for the block, which meant that we didn't need to pay lender's mortgage insurance. So whatever percent you are under the 20% deposit means that you have to pay lender's mortgage insurance, and the more under you are of that 20%, the more lender's mortgage insurance you have to pay. And I think that goes onto your loan, which means that not only are you paying more, but you also need to pay interest on that as well. So it was really important for me that I made that 20% because it was already a big enough investment and I didn't really want to add more to it. So over these 4 years, we've been having to pay our weekly repayments, and then at the end of the month, we have monthly interest. But I did end up speaking to a mortgage broker, and she suggested to me, rather than having all of my money just go straight to my savings, if I am able to put extra money on the loan, that would probably be in my best interest, because it is going to reduce the amount of the loan and therefore reduce the amount of interest that I need to pay. And I have a vested interest in not absolutely owing a crap ton of money to the bank and paying off a loan for the next 30 years of my life. So I've been really committed over these 4 years, particularly the last 2 years, towards putting extra money on my loan wherever possible. So for the most part of the past 2 years, I've been paying double the weekly repayments, and that has significantly reduced the loan, first of all, but also significantly reduced my monthly interest. And even though the pandemic has had a bad effect on our world just in general, it has had a positive effect on my loan because interest rates have never been so low. So I'm fully taking advantage of having to pay less interest and trying to put as much money on the loan as possible. So now that I've got this extra money sitting on the loan, I can actually use that as the deposit towards the house build, but I do want to have some extra money that I can put towards that if I can. Ideally, I would also like to have a 20% deposit for the house build, but I know that that 20% is going to be a lot larger than the 20% for the block itself. So if I'm only able to get a 10 or a 15% deposit for the house build, then that is good enough. But really, my strategy is just to pay as much on these loans as possible so that I can own my own home quicker. Because at this point in time, Dave and I own half a block of land and the bank owns the other half. So we're kind of at that point now where we are looking to go to the mortgage broker, get ourselves the best loan possible for this build, and then lock in the build date and actually start that process. But I really think that it is smart to save and to be money conscious, and that's something that I'm trying to do better and learn more about. One thing that I've also been saving for is new furniture. So majority of the furniture that we've got in this house is either secondhand or is bought new but from a more cheaper location such as Kmart or Fantastic Furniture, and I knew going into buying those things that they weren't going to be long term and that I probably wouldn't take them with us into our new build home. They would just serve the purpose of a couple of years while we are renting. So I have been setting aside money to be able to cater for the new furniture that I want to put in the house. I know that some people end up putting furniture on their loan, but that's really just going to increase the size of the loan and therefore the size of the interest that I need to pay back, and I'm not about that life. So I've been tucking that money away so that I can buy really staple, good quality pieces for this home that are going to last and that are going to be my style. My taste has evolved over the years, so I really don't want to invest a heap of money in things now that I know might not exactly fit my style or fit the actual physical space or the aesthetic of the space when we get into our new home. So this is going to be a process that you guys will be seeing all of 2022, and if you want to stay tuned for our house build journey, including like all of the moving, downsizing, home tours, like all of that stuff is coming, and I am beyond excited about it. So make sure that you subscribe so that you can stay tuned for that. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.